Hi everybody, it's me, Kim Forrester, back with another little bite-sized thrive. Today I wanted to talk to you all about judgment, and specifically I'm talking about those moments when we judge others, inwardly or outwardly. And I wanted to talk about why it's unwise for us to allow ourselves to do that too often in life, because it does actually undermine our own well-being. Before I start, 2 points. Firstly, I am not talking about discernment. There is a huge difference between discernment and judgment. And very recently on my social media posts, I shared the difference between the two. So at I am Kim Forrester on Instagram or Facebook, and you'll see that there's a little definition there that says the difference between discernment and judgment. But basically, when we are discerning, we are looking with very clear eyes at what's going on around us. We see people and their behavior and their choices with clear eyes. We see a situation with pure clarity. In the discernment of that situation, if something is negatively impacting us, we have empowered ourselves to navigate our way to somewhere healthier, somewhere happier for ourselves. So discernment is actually incredibly important for our own well-being, because it allows us to be truthful with ourselves about what's going on in our lives and empowers us to then try and navigate our way out of toxic, unhealthy, unhelpful situations. Right, second thing, we're all human. We all get a bit judgy at times. So I'm not saying, hey, you need to just stop being judgy at all and stop judging other people, because that's going to be nearly impossible. And I don't want you to start judging yourself. However, what I do want you to understand is it's probably wise to reflect on how often you judge other people, how often you fall into that trap of sort of righteousness and sharing your opinions about how people ought to be behaving or choosing to live their life. Because every time we sit in a moment of judgment, we, as I say, are undermining our own happiness. We're undermining our own capacity for well-being. Why? Because think about a moment when you're judging someone. You're normally sitting in a space of righteousness. And righteousness is just another form of triumph. Okay, I'm feeling superior to this other person. We sit in emotions of discontent, disapproval, resentment. Sometimes it's even jealousy and envy that we're feeling when we feel like we're judging other people. Now, none of those emotions are particularly uplifting. None of those states of being are particularly healthy for us and for our ongoing well-being. And so when we are in a state of judgment, we are limiting our capacity to feel the effects of serotonin and oxytocin and endorphins and all those wonderful uplifting inner drugs that come from really wonderful, positive, uplifting emotions. So 5 ways that we can each take a moment of judgment and turn it into something that is more like discernment, or turn it into something that at least is healthier for us than sitting in that space of discontent, anger, resentment, judgy behavior. First way that we can take a moment of judgment when we catch ourselves judging others, when we hear that opinion coming out of our mouth and it's just us feeling superior to someone else and feeling that they're doing it wrong and we know how to do it right. Firstly, reframe. Reframe what you are thinking, what you're about to say, or what you are saying, okay? Instead of that person is wrong, or they are doing it in a stupid way, okay? Or that is awful, that is wrong. That's judgment. But what you're actually saying is, oh, I don't like that. That's definitely not for me. All right, I wouldn't choose to do it that way. That's not how I see things. So it's really helpful to reframe the language that you use in your mind and when you express yourself when you are judging others. So instead of sort of, expressing your opinion as if it is a fact, that because you see that as being wrong or unhelpful or whatever, it is so. That's not the way that it works. So it's best to reframe it. Oh, definitely not right for me, not what I would choose, doesn't resonate with my value system. Okay. The second thing that we can do is become more self-aware. Moments of judgment are actually really powerful personal growth moments, because often when we're judging others, what we're doing is judging something in ourselves that we have not yet come to love and respect. You know, how often do you see it from other people, and someone will say, oh, I really don't like the way that person does that, and you're kind of going, oh, but you do that sometimes too, right? Okay, well, that's all of us. So if you really want to take the power out of a moment of judgment, and you hear yourself expressing your righteousness and your anger at someone, stop and reflect on where you express that same kind of behavior, where you choose something similar in your own life. Now, it's not always going to be there, and I'll tell you what, more often than not, we want to resist seeing it in ourselves, because it is something that we don't accept. We don't want to accept that we can also be that way. But judgment is a powerful moment to reframe it into self-awareness and learn something about ourselves as well. The third way that we can turn judgment into something healthier is to engage our compassion, actively engage our compassion. All right? What's their story? Why would someone choose to behave that way? Why does someone like that? What is it in their personality, or in their past, or in their perceived future that is compelling someone to behave in that particular way or choose that particular way of being? And when we engage compassion, of course, it expands our heart, and it does allow in those beautiful, feelings of connection and love and understanding, and does flood our body with oxytocin and endorphins and all those wonderful uplifting physiological responses. So see if in a moment of judgment, if you can't sort of just stop yourself and say, stop, right, what's their story? Let's go through life with the assumption that everybody out there is doing the best they know how to do. This is not always going to be easy, but it's a possibility there for you if you want to reach for compassion in those moments of judgment. Of course, compassionate action is the next thing we can do. Sometimes we see someone making a choice and we're really judgy about it, and we actually have a solution. We've been in that exact same experience or situation before, or we have a little bit of wisdom that we can impart. Be really discerning around this, okay? It is not up to all of us all the time to go out and speak out and rescue other people from their own life experiences. But if you're in a moment of judgment, check in to see if maybe you do have the responsibility, or you do have the privilege of being able to share your experience to help someone see a different perspective, right? They're choosing this way of being, or they're wearing that, or they're doing that, and you might feel that you want to judge them for that. Turn it around. Okay, what can I impart? What can I share with this person if they are willing to accept it, and if I'm in a position where that is actually appropriate, right? That can actually help this person see it in a different way, choose differently. And that can be something personal. So it can be that you take personal action one-on-one, intimately with someone that you're close to. It could be on a social level. So it could be that you're judging a group, or you're judging a person for something that they're doing, and you're feeling like you would like to actually engage your sense of agency and help right that situation, bring it into a situation that you feel is healthier. Engage your agency. Go and do something. Become part of a cause, a campaign. Put your energy behind something rather than just sitting there and judging. Finally, of course, there is self-constraint and self-compassion. Now, these two go hand in hand, because when we catch ourselves judging, we can just simply say, you know what? Not helpful for them, not helpful for me. What am I choosing for myself right now? I am choosing to fill my body with resentment and anger and disappointment and discontent. Why would I choose that for myself right now? And once again, these are not going to be easy choices, easy practices that sort of fall into place overnight, but they are things that we can work towards. And when you understand that every time you are sitting in judgment of somebody else, you are just undermining your own sense of happiness, then sometimes the most compassionate and kindest thing you can do for yourself is to step out of that moment of judgment. So there we are, 5 sort of interesting and not so easy, but really powerful ways that we can take moments of judgment and we can turn them into something that is a little healthier for us and also reconnects us more wholesomely with the people in our lives and with the people around us as well. You're not going to be good at it. I'm not always good at it. We will have moments of judgment. If you can lean into one of those 5 things every time you catch yourself judging, then what you're doing is you're enhancing your well-being bit by bit, moment by moment, from the inside out. There it is. My latest bite-sized thrive, all about being judgy and how if we can turn it around, it's much better for us. I look forward to seeing you next time back here again. I'm Kim Forrester. Until next time, see you. Bye.